Hey everybody, welcome to Garden Sound 365. My name is Garden Sound. This is the show where I write music every day for a year. Today we're going to be doing one of the most enjoyable but easy activities that you can do as a producer, and that is called making a remix. But we're not being, like rebuilding things from the ground up like I normally do in my show. We're just going to be making a pure, easy remix, almost like a bootleg. Here's the easiest way that I know to do a remix, and I wanted to show this to you guys so you just have this in your wheelhouse as a technique that you can use later with some of your pieces. It does lead to things that sound a bit the same. Use it sparingly, right? You don't want to use too much salt in your recipe. To do this, all we're gonna need are a song we've already written that sounds like the song we're remixing, okay? So you have to have two components. Song you're remixing, a song you've already written that sounds like this song, all right? If you've got those two things, you can follow along with me. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take the song we're remixing, which if you didn't see my episode yesterday, I said I'm gonna remix Timmy Trumpet and Crunk Al Pacino because I listened to it on coffee time and I fell in love with that song. I still like it today, so I think it was a good decision for me to say I'm gonna remix this tomorrow. All right, so I've got the song that I've already written, which I totally did this on purpose yesterday. I didn't do it on purpose. This is totally a coincidence. Okay, so the song I wrote yesterday, 301, which if you didn't listen to that, you can go listen to that song and familiarize yourself with it. But it sounds like this, right? It's a typical festival house. It's your nasty saw reverb lead, sidechained. Then it does a halftime breakdown right here that sounds like this. Right, typical trap breakdown. It's typical festival stuff. There's nothing new here. These are all techniques you can learn on YouTube. Now what I'm gonna do is grab the track I'm remixing, Timmy Trumpet and Crunk, and drag it into Ableton. I'm gonna full screen Ableton to get rid of all my distractions. Full screening is the best thing you can do for your workflow, besides like unplugging the Ethernet. It really just keeps you from getting distracted. I highly recommend full screen. Now what I'm gonna do is line this up with other things I've already written in here. I'm gonna remove some of my melodic content and just basically leave the drum. Side note, this is why I like to label my tracks with very specific colors, because I know that if I'm making a remix, all I've got to do, deactivate the tracks that aren't red, and I can keep those, right? So that's what I'm about to do here. Solo this track and let's warp it in. I'm gonna put it on top of everything because it's an easier way for me to see what's going on. So let's warp this in correctly. Alright, everything's warped in pretty well. We're gonna figure out what parts of this song we want to save and what parts of this song we don't want to save. I want to save that build up, that it's this part right here, I think. I definitely want to save the Al Pacino hey, because that's like the whole song right there. Like that just makes it. So we're gonna save those two parts for sure. So I might go ahead and cut those out. And I'm gonna save a little bit of this build up. And the next thing we're gonna do is just try to slot it into the song and kind of make a mashup, maybe change the form up a little bit. So first I'm gonna grab two new audio tracks. Actually, not two, I'm gonna grab three new audio tracks. I'm gonna get three pieces of this song that I wanna save. All right, I'm gonna put them up here. I'm gonna color these gray, just to make things easier on my eyes, so I know what I'm looking at. All right, now I'm gonna solo each of these tracks individually, and we're gonna grab our I'm gonna get rid of the original Al Pacino track because we don't need it anymore. Now we're just gonna make it fit with my stuff. So we've got a piano, we've got trumpets, we've got build up, we've got Al Pacino, no, comma, hey, exclamation. I'm gonna keep it like that. And then those toms. All right, so let's unmute my solos. And we're actually just gonna deactivate these guys. Now I'm going to create one more audio track. You can call this whatever you want. I'm going to call it in song because that just means the pieces of this I'm going to use in the song. I'm going to label this black. And now we're just gonna figure out, this is the creative part, this is the hard part, this is the part that's hard for me to teach and tell you how I do. This is important. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do now is go through my song again and determine, because my song could be a little bit longer, I think. So what we're going to do here is start just applying some stuff. I think I'm going to grab these drums and have these be the first thing you hear on this song. So let's do this. I'm going to... Now I'm just starting to mash things up here. There's nothing special about what I'm doing. I'm doing this quickly. I'm doing this without talking because it's just kind of flowing, so y'all can just watch. That's the whole build-up right there. And I'm gonna have it go, Al Pacino, hey, like right into a trap drop. I'm not gonna do house because their song is house and that wouldn't be a remix, that would just be a bootleg. So here we go. We're gonna just keep rolling. I'm gonna delete my house section, and unfortunately I have to delete all of the smooching. I know, it's not quite the same without the smooching. Alright, so I've got to get rid of my lead. I'm gonna get rid of my keys. So what we've got left is no smooching. We got our side chain, white noise, our bass, and our sub. What's this bass track? I don't need that either. Alright, so I've got to take my sub track, which thankfully I saved as a MIDI track instead of audio like I normally do. I totally did that on purpose. I get rid of these tracks because we don't need them anymore. Those were just like copy and paste tracks. What key is this in? Oh man, I was just talking to my buddy Simo about this. So Simo, this is exactly what I was trying to tell you how to do. I don't know what key this song is in, Al Pacino. I don't know what key it's in. And in order to make this work, I have to match the key of my old track, right, at least the sub part, to the key of Al Pacino. So here's how to figure out what key something is in. So I'm gonna listen to this track really carefully. You and me, we're all gonna listen to it together, okay? Listen. I'm gonna loop that. Okay, so I've got kind of in my head bum 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 da ba da 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 bum bum ba 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 da ba bum da da bum 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 bum. The note that I seem to keep coming back around to the most is that note, okay? Now, using any VST, I'm gonna use massive, but you can use anything. You can, if you're in FL12, you can use citrus. You can use anything. You can use FL keys. Any synthesizer, anything. Without a keyboard. No keyboards here. I'm just using my mouse and my keyboard. My mouse and my computer keyboard. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out what note that is. It's F. Let's see if that holds true. I'm gonna extend this out. Again, no instruments. I'm gonna extend this out, maybe an octave lower, and see if that sounds good on top of the Al Pacino track. There you go. It's an F. So you don't have to go out and buy an instrument. You don't need one. You don't need a MIDI keys. All you got to do is practice. What is the note? What is the pitch center? Again, we weren't really figuring out the key because I didn't address whether or not it's F minor or F major. What we did do was figure out the tonal center. That's a good term for everybody. Let's put it up on the board, Gardner. Tonal center. This means the pitch that a song kind of revolves around, right? So if a song has a gravity, right? If you think about a song having a gravity, which is how I think about theory, I don't really think about it in terms of keys anymore. There's a specific pitch that's kind of the center of the galaxy, tonal galaxy. That's the pitch center, right? So the pitch that everything kind of comes back to. There's your theory tip for the day. And I'm gonna go over to my bass line that I've created. All right. This bass line is in D. So I'm gonna grab everything and I'm gonna drag to F because I don't think I can go lower. I think that's like the lower threshold of like acceptable bass ranges. Let's go up to F and we'll tweak it a little bit and see if we can get this to sound good. Gotta bring up my saturator a little bit too. Okay. I was just adjusting some stuff there. That wasn't really anything involving theory. I missed a critical part of this song. What I need to do is just bring Al Pacino back in here. I don't know why I got rid of the whole song so quickly. That was a mistake on my part. All right, so I've got some different sections now that I think are appropriate. So what we're gonna do is I'm not gonna get rid of the whole song this time like a doofus. What I'm gonna do is just drag stuff from over here that I need, which would be stuff like this. Alright, so now we're running into the inevitable problem that we were going to have all along. How do we get all of these tones out of this song that we don't want to clash with the current song we have? Like, for instance, the kick drum in the Al Pacino track is colliding with the kick drum in my track. What do we do about that? There is no easy way to do this. What we've got to do is just carefully EQ all the stuff we don't want out of the track and just continuously and over again resample and resample and resample. So what I'm going to do now is create a duplicate of in song, and I'm going to remove everything from in song that I don't want to see. These are all the frequencies here, fine. Those aren't colliding with anything. They're by themselves, they're not colliding with anything, but this stuff is. So we're going to remove the track from in song and start to do my resampling technique for remixing. We're going to rename this resampling, and we're just going to continuously flatten and crunch things until we've got something that sounds like something that'll work. So Pro Q works a lot better than EQ8. So I'm going to use Pro Q. So I'm just listening to Al Pacino right now. I'm not listening to my track. Alright, so that was just a really basic low pass with a notch just to cut out some of the kick drum and bass frequencies. So now what I'm going to do is duplicate this track, disable the first one, so it's going to be called resampling 1. Alright, now in order for me to remember that this is not in use anymore, I'm going to have to color it white. That just reminds me that this isn't being used right now. And I'm going to minimize it. So we've got that track off. Okay, so we've duplicated that track. Now what I'm going to do is freeze the one I just created and flatten it. Okay, so this is the same track we were just listening to, but now it's got some work done on it. We're going to put another Pro Q on it here. So this is, again, the track from before with the notch cut out in it, and we're resampling. There were still some bass frequencies remaining. Not many, but there were some. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did. Duplicate this track, color this last one white. Does everybody kind of get what I'm doing here? Because I've shown you how this is done. So now we're going to skip ahead a little bit.
Pacino!
That's fucking dope. That worked much better than I thought it would. That's fucking, I was getting out of my chair like I was dancing around. Like I was dope. All right. Do this every day. How can you be mad when you do this every day? So let's do a little bit of like shaving and cutting and expanding, and I'll be back in a minute.
It's Garden Sound.
That's gonna do it for me today. Hope everybody enjoyed this. I'm going to tweet this out, see if we can get Timmy Trumpet and Crunk to take a look at this. So if you're not following me on Twitter, I'm just at GARDNSOUND. If you wouldn't mind, help me out. Hit that like button, hit that retweet button. Let's see if we can get some attention for this remix. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. My name is Gardner. We're gonna be back to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. That's it. Peace out.